Further back, so I mean, yeah. But I mean, yeah. Okay. And then. Yeah, yes. Of course. Would you like to incorporate for your No, they don't talk to me like that. Don't say that to me again. See, you get things like that. Hi.
It's been a long time.
Hey.
Coming through.
That's a cool picture.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. We are all extremely excited to celebrate with our graduates this evening. We're going to start with just some general introductions, kind of re-familiarize you with our team. It isn't just Learning Center teachers. We have a whole community that helps support us in the things that we do. However, I would like to be the first one to say congratulations to our graduates for the evening. It's a pretty big deal what you guys have accomplished, and I know that you're going to hear that probably 15, 20, 50 times tonight. However, I would encourage you to pause and reflect and really appreciate how much you did to get to this evening and this celebration. So it's really a big deal, and you deserve all those accolades. Like I said, I want to introduce quite a few people, or at least say thank you to a few people. I'm going to start up here with the faces you see before you. So from our central office, on the end we have our superintendent, Mark Shepard. Scott Jensen is Learning Center Administrator, as well as Executive Director of Secondary Operations. I'm Leah Bruner. I coordinate the Learning Center, and I'm also the math teacher. And then we have Shannon Hageman, who is our English teacher. Eric Barthel is our social studies teacher. Kalita Demuth, she's our science teacher. And Mike Rosh, who is our vocational coordinator. And I know that many of you have spoken with all of these folks many, many times. So can we just give them a round of applause to say thank you? We also have a lot of people on a lot of different committees who are involved in what our students are able to, achieve with their activities. A lot of behind the scenes action that goes into help supporting the curriculum that we offer to students, the flexibility in our programming, to recognize that we need sometimes things to be a little bit different than the norms. So I want to recognize a few people, and they're mostly in the back there. So I'm going to start with central office and our board members, and I'm just going to say names and then ask for a round of applause at the end there. So Dr. Brad Dahl is our associate superintendent. Kevin Earlywine, executive director of human resources and elementary operations. Kate Heineman, Director of Teaching and Learning. Also from our school board, we have 3 people that I saw come in tonight. So Todd Hansen and Pam Murphy and Terry Sorensen. And next to Todd is his wife, Shannon. We appreciate you. She helps us out with all of our SPED services. So can we also give them a round of applause? All right. Also, hiding in the back, so we had some folks that were helping us out to serve the lovely meal that was provided for you guys this evening. And most of those folks are connected to our program either through family or through their retired teachers that choose to come back and spend this evening with us. So back there, we also have Cindy Deers, Denny. Let's not forget, I know many of you have talked to Denny on a regular basis over the last year. Mary Granger, Marlene Bucker, and Holly Irving. Can we thank them for their help? We had the opportunity to listen to a few of our students address the Fremont Board of Education earlier this week on Monday evening. The students did a phenomenal job voicing the various reasons why they were seeking a unique experience for their education. They shared some of the benefits that they experienced with us at Learning Center during their enrollment. They described our little school as a community and a family that they could rely on for all manner of personal growth and learning. I could not agree more with their impromptu comments to the board, and I am extremely grateful for their representation. I want to take a moment to recognize the history and longevity of our amazing program. The Learning Center was established in Fremont in the 1972-73 school year. Fremont was one of the first communities in the state, actually, to recognize and support students for whom the traditional environment was not a best fit. So, we gotta get clear. There we go. Oh, I lost it. Not going. It's really not going. Do you mind?
Can you get the hands out or? Have one? Oh, there you go.
Oh, it went.
You want to do that or?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so for those of you who maybe quick with the math, that actually means this is our 50th year anniversary. So for 50 years, the Learning Center has been operating, serving the Fremont community, which I think is a pretty big deal. We've been under the careful supervision of our FPS administrators, the school board, and most significantly, all of our staff here in front of you and all of our previous staff that have helped us redesign this program year after year to meet the needs of our students. The changes over the years have been significant, both in program structure and then also in location, but the driving decision has always been, what is the best decision for our students? How can we meet students where they are? How can we help them move forward to become better leaders and better workers and better citizens? We meet the same graduation requirements as the traditional high school program, but as you will hear a little bit later tonight, the pathways to reach those diplomas have been very different and sometimes challenging. So we will soon recognize individual achievements of all of our grads, but before we award diplomas, we would like the opportunity to invite our administrators also up to address the graduates as well. So first up, I'd like to welcome Mark Shepard, our superintendent.
Thank you, and thank you, Leah. It's always a pleasure to come and address this group of students and your families and your friends. You know, as you look around this room, there's a lot of people. We have 19 graduates tonight, which is very amazing and very cool. But beyond the 19 students, we have a room full, and that's all of the support mechanisms that those students have behind them on a daily basis. We already talked about the support mechanisms up here. We talked about some of the people in the back that make this happen. But truly, all of you are support mechanisms for these students and seeing them be successful. 50 years is amazing. That's a long time. And when you think about it, over the years, this program, the Learning Center, has met the needs, as Leah said, meeting students where they are, moving them forward, giving them opportunities to really be successful. And I think that was on full display at our last Board of Education meeting. I don't know if you've ever heard Sarah and Renee talk, but I'm going to tell you what, if I handed them the mic right now, we'd be here a very long time. They did a great job. They represented all of the students, current and former, very well. They did a great job representing themselves very well. And I think we should give them a round of applause. They did We introduced 3 of our school board members that are here tonight. Terry Sorensen, who's the vice president of the board, Todd Hansen, who's our secretary of the board, and then also Pam Murphy, who's one of our board members at large. Sandy Proskovic, our board president, was not able to be here tonight. Our 2 other board members at large are John Levinson and Mike Peterson. And I gotta tell you, I get to work with and for them every day, elected by the citizens of Fremont. And I will say without a doubt, every decision they make is 100% in the favor of and in the support of our students. That doesn't happen in every community. It doesn't happen by chance, but we have a lot of longevity on our Board of Education, and that longevity shows through in a program like this that's been in place for 50 years. Let's give them one more round of applause. We really appreciate it. So a couple of things that I will say, you know, the journey has been different. It's a little different than the typical traditional high school journey, but it's your journey and you've made it your own. You've owned it, and this program is all about owning it. And this program has given you the opportunities to succeed and be successful. We're so proud of you, and I'm proud to be able to tell our Board of Education members tonight, and before those diplomas are signed, that every one of the graduates tonight, and there's 19 of them, I think we're going to recognize 18, if I understand that correctly, have met or exceeded, and in many cases exceeded, not only the requirements for Fremont Public Schools, but for the state of Nebraska to be declared a graduate of Fremont Public Schools. Let's give all the graduates. With that said, I now am going to introduce my colleague Scott Jensen, who is the administrator of the Learning Center and also our director of secondary operations. Thank you.
Good evening. Graduates and families, as a principal of the Learning Center, I have the honor of congratulating all of you on this momentous occasion. This is a huge accomplishment, and we couldn't be prouder of you. You've achieved this tremendous accomplishment during very difficult times. During your time in school, there's been a 500-year flood, there's been a pandemic, there's been lots of obstacles to overcome, and you've overcome all of them, showing a level of determination that was not to be denied. I want to take a moment to express just how much it means to us here at Fremont Public Schools to have been part of your voyage. Your trip has definitely been unpredictable and unique. It has been a true privilege to see each and every one of you grow, overcome challenges, and succeed. You're not just ordinary graduates, but you're part of the Learning Center family, and we are honored to have played a role in your journey. As you move forward in this next phase, remember that you're unstoppable. You possess the skills, knowledge, and drive to achieve anything you set your mind to. Your hard work and dedication have already made you rock stars in our eyes, and the world is your stage, so go out there, do great things, and give the performance of a lifetime. Congratulations, graduates.
We've mentioned many times the support that we receive from the Fremont community. Specifically, we have an opportunity for all of our graduates that has been provided by Metropolitan Community College through the coordination of Executive Director Mr. Todd Hansen. So each of our graduates has been awarded a scholarship that covers the cost of a class at Metro up to 4.5 credit hours. Graduates can choose to use that scholarship toward any course that Metro offers within a specific program of study, or for our more hesitant population, to give college a try and decide if Metro would be a good fit for you. We will mail those scholarship certificates to you in the coming weeks, so please look for those. Mr. Hansen and the admissions office there's information on how to contact them and how to use those scholarships through their office building. And they can certainly help you determine which classes are going to be most applicable to your program and then transferable to other universities. So can we please give them a round of applause for their very in related information, information, although not as pertinent to our graduates. But Nebraska high school students are able to take college classes for free. They started a new program with new funding this last year, so that's already been in effect for 1 year, and for at least 2 more years. They cover the cost of high schoolers who are interested in taking college classes. So if you know someone who is still in high school and interested in doing that, please have them communicate with their counselors or teachers because we want them to have that opportunity. So we are going to move forward with the ceremony, and I'm going to invite Mr. Mike Rosh up, our vocational coordinator, for the next presentation.
Thank you. I have just a few things I'd like to say and share with you. Just so you know, I was a junior at Fremont High School when this program started. So if you do the math, I think I'm 52. I'm quite sure. But I tell you, I have always been proud to be part of Fremont Public Schools, and I taught for 26 years. I am currently volunteering at the Learning Center. My wife, I married the girl, well, same thing. I married the girl next door, that's my wife. And she went to Fremont Public Schools, our sons went to Fremont Public Schools, our grandchildren are going there, and always been proud to say that. And I appreciate the administration and the support. Thank you. Jimmy, can you give me the next slide? The Learning Center typically has had some of the best workers in the city. They work hard, they turn in their pay stubs, I add up the hours, that turns into credits and helps them graduate. And I find that that's fun to do, and I appreciate the opportunity. As a volunteer, sometimes it's hard to get rid of volunteers. They'll say things like, "No, Mike, we need to let you go." And I'll say, "Well, I know I'm a volunteer. I can go whenever I want." No, they let me stay around, and I appreciate that. I really do. I've got some numbers on the next slide, please. The 2022-23 work experience statistics thus far, and the year's not over because we still have about 2 weeks of school. So far, Learning Center students have completed 201 plus work experience elective classes that I was able to turn in, add up their hours, turn them in. They worked 18,137 hours. And the current average of their wages is $13 an hour. That's gone up substantially from even 6 years ago when I started doing this. But they have earned close to $250,000 worth of cash, and I have seen none of that. And that's okay. Anyway, they really, it's a great opportunity. It's a program that I was proud of when I worked and proud of now that I'm helping them do that. So it's a great opportunity. Those are unaudited numbers, and again, they're ongoing, so I won't spend a lot of time with that. But it's interesting to see how much they work and how much they earn and how much they contribute to our society. Prior, don't push the button yet, please. Nope. What do you got? A tradition is that we give a certificate to the graduating senior who earned the most work experience classes while they were enrolled at the Learning Center. And this year, I'm going to call someone up here, and they're going to get this award. And someone else is going to talk more about this student in a little bit. Alejandra Deluna, would you come up, please? In here is a smaller version of that. But congratulations, she worked, I think she earned 37.5 credits. So that's a lot of classes. Leah will talk more about it. Congratulations.
We are going to finally get diplomas out to our graduates. And so we will go team by team. So when your team leader calls your name, please come forward and stand next to us. We have just a little bit. We want to brag on you for 1 minute to 2 minutes. And then also smile nice and big so that everybody can get a picture when you receive it. You don't have to stay long, just a smile.
McKenna Haynes. McKenna will be the first to admit that school was not her thing. She struggled with teachers, peers, and homework. She was short-tempered and impulsive, and one too many physical applications resulted in probation. McKenna recognizes that the classes required by probation helped her grow and motivated her to do better. She appreciated the support of finally having someone on her side with the resources to help her overcome some big obstacles. When McKenna started at Learning Center, she needed 12 more classes to meet the minimum requirements for graduation. While this seemed like an easy-to-reach goal at the time, McKenna kept herself pretty distracted by outside influences and fell behind. We adjusted her goal, and McKenna learned that she would need 21 assignments a week to graduate with her cohort. At this news, without saying another word, McKenna walked out of my room, signed out at the office, and refused to accept any of my calls for about a week, a little over a week. She needed that time to reconsider her options, and thankfully, she decided to come back. She continued to stumble with attendance and mental health. Her poor decisions ultimately earned her back the support of probation. She began attending more regularly and turning in work. However, it wasn't quite enough to graduate last May. So even though she threatened not to, she came back this past fall. As overwhelmed as she was by 21 assignments per week last year, this year she averaged 26 assignments a week and finished up the last 3 core classes, earning her diploma on October 5th. Since then, she has been working as a peer provider for home advocacy and is considering pursuing her CNA certification, which I think is a much better plan than the career choices she's previously considered. McKenna, congratulations on reaching your goal and earning that diploma. And Isla Werner, who is not with us this evening, graduated on October 5th. I assume since she is experiencing dorm life at UNO and earning her, working her way toward dental assistant, she is happy to see you. Which brings us to Alexis Tesla. When I met Alexis, she had just transferred back to us after spending 9 months at Udahali Academy. She was sent to the all-girls group home her sophomore year because she was not complying with any of the expectations probation set for her, especially attending school and abstaining from drug use. During her time at Udahali, she earned her CNA, which helped her land a great job when she returned to Fremont. However, soon after, Alexis returned to her bad habits and poor decisions that not only cost her a job she loved, but also put her further behind in her education. She decided in the fall of 2020 it would be better to just drop out. This worked for a while, giving her plenty of time to hang out with her best friend and her best friend's daughters. The summer after she was supposed to graduate, Alexis witnessed a great tragedy that led to the death of her best friend. This tragedy moved Alexis to do something meaningful in her life. She knew that meant going back for her diploma. Alexis returned to school this past fall, bringing with her some work experience credit. In less than 3 months, she completed the remaining 6 required core classes and earned her diploma on November 9th. Alexis, I am proud of you for pushing through some really difficult times and for seeing the value in your diploma. I also appreciate your frequent reminders to classmates that the diploma is worth more opportunities in life. You did this to prove to yourself that there is more to life than the challenges you are facing, and you set an amazing example for your best friend's daughters. She would be proud of you just as we are. It was a pleasure being your teacher, and congratulations.
Good job, Alexis.
That's
Awesome.
Come on in. If you ask Delaney, this day could not come fast enough. When I met Delaney at the beginning of her junior year, she told me she couldn't wait to turn 18 so she could just drop out. I knew that she was kidding, mostly. Prior to coming to Learning Center, Delaney spent 18 months at Boys Town. She knew the only way back home was through hard work and following expectations. She managed to improve her GPA and got back on track for graduation. Delaney made it clear from the start that she was only interested in the easiest, fastest route to graduation. Maybe she didn't particularly like school, but she excelled academically, and the attendance and deadlines proved to be the real challenge. At the beginning of this school year, Delaney started on a path to graduate as early as first quarter. but life threw a few roadblocks her way and her attendance suffered. In fact, she was absent nearly the entire second quarter. Thankfully, she wasn't ready to give up, and she returned willing to knock out about 20 to 30 assignments a week. Of course, in face of the challenge of those last math classes, she threatened once again to just drop out. But luckily, she knew that that wasn't a good choice and kept at it, closing out her last math class on April 12th. I'm so thankful, Delaney, that you stuck with it so that today, which happens to be your 18th birthday, instead of signing papers to drop out, we are celebrating your success and your graduation. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Good evening. It's been so fun to see all you graduates, especially those of you we haven't seen since last fall, and catching up with you. I think as a teacher, this is really my favorite thing, getting to see kids grow and getting to be a part of that journey, especially here at the Learning Center. So I think one of the things that makes it really exciting is that it's a little unpredictable, sometimes super spontaneous, intriguing, mysterious. You don't always know what's going to happen day to day, so no 2 days are alike. And as I was putting together the dedications for my seniors, I was thinking, they did a fantastic job of creating an exciting year. And for some of them, an exciting 2 years, if you've been here that long. So thank you for that, team members. So we're going to start with Gabe Morris. Gabe first arrived at the Learning Center on January 4th of 2022. I remember sitting across from him at orientation as he explained his personal and academic history and feeling so appreciative of his self-awareness and honesty. In his autobiography, Gabe shared that he was quite the troublemaker, even in kindergarten, and created some major disruptions in his classrooms. But an eventual ADHD diagnosis and a helpful treatment plan put him on the right track. Several school and home changes, though, throughout his early childhood resulted in some anxiety and some feelings of isolation. By his freshman year of high school, Gabe's mental health had begun to rapidly decline, and his substance use became more and more of an issue. He shared that it was at this point that he moved to inpatient care. The next couple years continued to prove difficult until one day, his probation officer told him, "Gabe, something gots to change." And so here he was, making the change to the Learning Center. He had only 8 classes left to graduate, and he hoped to finish up by May. That spring turned out to be a very challenging one for Gabe, but one thing all of his teachers consistently noticed was his natural ability as a student. Gabe is very academically talented. He's especially adept in the sciences, which I loved, but his pace began to slow, and he encountered some significant bumps in the road on the way to May graduation. I had the thought at one point that this was sort of like Worlds of Fun, but not the fun part. That like the Boomerang roller coaster, if you're familiar with that roller coaster. The website describes it this way. Passengers are pulled up a 116-foot tall hill and are nearly vertical. Once the cars reach the top of the hill, the riders are dropped and sent soaring through the station, through 3 inversions and 1 loop. And then the train gets pulled back up a second 160-foot tall hill, and once again is dropped, but this time backwards. I actually looked back through our team notes from the spring of 2022. And on Friday, April 1st, we reported Gabe had a great day, and we all celebrated together what a fantastic day he had had. And then on Monday, April 4th, we noted Gabe wouldn't get out of the car today. I share this because the ideas that we try to communicate with our students is that feelings are very temporary. Life keeps moving, and each day provides new opportunities. Progress can be slow. Sometimes it's backwards. Sometimes we come to a full stop. But with each step, we learn and grow at a pace that is particular to us. Gabe demonstrated this true throughout his time with us. With the support of his family, community resources, and his recognition that graduation really was possible, Gabe showed up for the 22-23 school year, and he finished his very last class on October 26th of 2022. Sorry. I know it wasn't easy to get going on some of those days that you wanted to give up, Gabe. And I know there were many days that you didn't believe it was worth it or that you were worth it. But I hope you feel as proud of yourself as we are of you. and that you're learning to embrace your personal story. Thank you for sticking with us and allowing us to be part of it. Congratulations, graduates. All right, Mariah Markham. Mariah came to the Learning Center in February of 2022 with 9 classes needed to graduate. She grew up in Fremont, attending FPS schools and participating in band and orchestra. But Mariah remembers struggling with the changes from elementary to JCAC to the middle school and ultimately to the high school. Being on different teams and our closest friends and navigating bigger and bigger environments proved to be distracting, frustrating, and disconnecting. The Learning Center was a great fit for Mariah. The shortened schedule allowed her to maximize her time working at her own pace and also provided her with a means for not only catching up on credits, but far surpassing the minimum requirement of 210. In total, Mariah completed 13 work experience classes, participated in JAG, added a few extra electives, and graduated early with 250 credits on February 22nd of 23. Her classmates describe her as pretty quiet, very mature, usually sweet, very artistic, and with her own unique style. They also made sure to mention that Mariah hates having her picture taken. Mariah did occasionally share photos of her amazing artwork, though, especially her stage makeup creations, which are absolutely phenomenal, and also of her tattoo work. She's both creative and hardworking, the perfect combination of traits for her possible future career as a tattoo artist. Mariah shared that by concentrating on the things that matter in life, like hard work, reaching goals, and paying attention to her mental health, she knows she will be successful in the future. In her autobiography, Mariah wisely states, "All choices I make will have an impact on my life and whether I achieve my goals or not." Mariah, we are really proud of you, and I so enjoyed having you on my team. I especially appreciated your willingness to step outside your comfort zone sometimes and be especially silly with me and some of your team members. Congratulations, really proud of you. All right, Amy Merez. Amy moved to the big town of Fremont from a tiny little country school in western Nebraska at the end of her sophomore year. She was hoping to leave behind a troubled past and start fresh with FPS while living with her aunt. Somehow, the trouble found her again, and she moved to the Learning Center for its smaller environment, fewer people, and greater accountability. Amy enrolled with us on the first day of school, August 15th of 2022. She only needed 7 classes to graduate, and in the first 3 weeks of the school year, she was on pace to finish by December. She was focused, disciplined, and motivated. She was also working on her CNA through Metro and had a steady job. Amy was feeling a bit of anxiety about graduating, though. She wasn't sure what she wanted to do in the future, and all the responsibilities of adulting seemed daunting. So, Amy didn't take too long to change it up. She went from breakneck speed to cruising speed to a crawling pace by winter. And we started to get a little concerned that maybe we needed to speed things up again to graduate in May. Amy didn't take too long to get back on track. And while she was struggling a little bit during that winter time, she still did maintain her silly sense of humor, her quirky personality, and her engaging disposition toward her classmates. Despite some of this year's challenges, Amy made great strides in her progress with probation. She began looking forward to things that once scared her, like getting a driver's license, making phone calls to people she doesn't know, and advocating for herself. She realized that in order to withstand the pressure she knew she would encounter from negative influences, she would need to lean on the adults in her life who could be there for her until she was ready to stand on her own, which was really wise of her to recognize. Amy worked diligently with her team of supports, including Boys Town, probation, her GAL, her aunt, and all of us at school who were invested in helping her stay the course. At one point, she considered dragging out her last 5 math assignments because she wasn't quite sure she was ready, much to my heart racing and like, yeah, let's go, you can do it, you can do it. Then she returned from the weekend after saying, I'm going to drag this out just a little while longer. I don't know if I'm ready. And she walked in and said, guess what? Guess what I decided? I'm ready. I'm turning these in. I'm going to be done. On April 18th, Amy proudly completed her last class and became a high school graduate. Her future goals include becoming an esthetician and maybe someday owning her own business. It's been a pleasure to be part of your journey, Amy. We're very proud of you for reaching this goal, and we all wish you the best. Tanner Fox was not able to be here tonight. I believe he's going to be walking on Saturday. So congratulations, Tanner. For my team, my most recent graduate, Renee Montiel. Born in Nicaragua, Renee recalls a wonderful childhood filled with family time, soccer, hide and seek, mud pie making, and simplicity. Her father died when she was 3, and although she says she came from a poor family and a poor country, she never felt that she needed anything more than what she already had. Everything began to change, though, when she moved to Nebraska in 8th grade. She was unable to communicate with her peers, and the process of learning a brand new language during a time when everything revolves around social connectedness was intimidating and isolating. Renee experienced intense bullying at school. She started making poor choices to fit in. She chose substances, bad influences, and made some dangerous decisions that ultimately resulted in expulsion from her high school. Determined to begin anew, Renee started a girls' wrestling team at her new school and was able to participate in the state tournament. She also won a state medal in girls' wrestling. However, because she had been placed below her grade level when she moved to the States, she turned 19 during her junior year, and per NSAA rules, her wrestling career came to an abrupt and unexpected end. Filled with disappointment, Renee then moved to Fremont and enrolled at the Learning Center in October, with only 7 classes left to graduate. The last 7 months were not easy. Renee struggled with attendance as her mental health took center stage. There were days she could not get out of bed, moments that she thought she couldn't envision a future, and overwhelming thoughts at times of hopelessness. But Renee made a new decision in March. She was going to graduate no matter what. It was a long shot, but a May graduation was still within reach. In her autobiography, Renee shared, "I'm not trying to graduate just for me. I'm doing it for my mom. A lot of people in my country would love the opportunity that I have been given. So I can't give up. I want to graduate and be somebody in this world. I want to be proud of who I will become, because I know that I will get what I want with hard work." Renee would like to pursue a major in criminology and minor in business at UNL. She wants to do the things I'm scared of, like heights, touching a snake, and big adventures. Life is too short to not enjoy it while I can. Renee, you are a powerhouse. You're unstoppable when you put your mind to something. We can't wait to see what your future holds. Congratulations.
All right, before I get started, I just wanted to thank parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, for taking calls and remind messages from me all the time. I always appreciate y'all getting back to me, and always, I always say to the parents, like, thank you for staying on the same page. I promise I won't be that long-winded, Jake. Come on over here. Okay, well, Jacob, as you stand here today on the cusp of the next phase of your life, I want to take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished. Jacob started with us at the Learning Center in October of 2019. I believe it was sometime in 2020 you began talking to us. You worked incredibly hard to, excuse me. has worked incredibly hard to get to this point, and you should be proud of all that you've achieved. You've overcome challenges, faced adversity, and persevered through it all. You've demonstrated a commitment to finishing what you started, no matter what stood in your way, and that is truly inspiring. And on February 7th of this year, Jacob took a huge step, finishing his final class and earning his diploma. Today is not just about what you've done, it's also about what you will do in the future. As you move forward into the next chapter of your life, I want you to remember that you have the power to shape your own destiny. Jacob plans on pursuing a career in music and projects in discography. Jacob, you've always said that music is in your blood and it's plain to see, even when you're, even when you're walking to your own rhythm, bobbing your head and stepping to your own beats. So my challenge to you, Jacob, is to never stop growing, never stop striving for that goal of breaking into the music industry. The world could use your talents and your creativity. Jacob, your story serves as a reminder that with hard work and perseverance, so much is possible. You're an inspiration to those who face real challenges in their path. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 grad, Jacob Tippery. It's hot and someone cutting onions. Corey, come on up. Corey started with us in October of 2021. Corey had admittedly got into a few shenanigans here and there, but when he came to the Learning Center, he was ready to put himself in a position to graduate and maybe even graduate early. Corey's one of those kids you have in class that always has a smile on his face when you can see his face. And the haircut he just got really doesn't help my point here. So many times when Corey was at his desk, he said just like this. Most of the time, I was sure he was awake. Every once in a while, I did have to just peer under, just to check his eyes. Also, I put a mirror under his nostrils too, just in case something really went bad. But most of the time, he was. Corey was great to have in class. He was also a great team member. He was never too cool to take part in school activities. I could always count on him to jump in, do things like the Oreo on the nose and down to the mouth, and just all those fun team building things. Also taking part in book club, doing reading with all of us. Corey has also shown his academic prowess as well. There were plenty of times where he was one of the top assignment earners on my team, and in the end, Corey did what he set out to do. On February 24th, he earned his diploma and graduated a full quarter ahead of schedule. Corey's talked about pursuing a business degree and perhaps attending school up in California. Corey, no matter what you do or where you go, I'm sure you'll be successful. Keep on smiling, keep letting us see that smile. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 grad, Corey Jensen. Jacob, come on up. Okay. Jacob started with us at the Learning Center in August of 2021. While he has been here, he has added perspective, style, and excitement to our environment. These are terms of endearment when I'm describing Jacob, so we're clear. He's a student that not only learns, but wants to know the answer to the eternal question, why? He's asked that question multiple times during his time with us. Sometimes the answer is very easy, because I said so. I'm usually going into more depth than that. But sometimes the answer required myself as a team leader and a teacher to step back and think about that simple question and reflect. I appreciate that as a teacher and a parent to help me continue my journey of always learning and trying to get better. Jacob did well academically with us as well. There were 6 different times Jacob completed more than 25 assignments this year. He met his assignment goal numerous times. And that explains why you finished your final assignment on March 13th. You put it all together when you were ready, and we're happy to meet you where you were at. Jacob plans on moving to California to study music and hopefully break into the industry. He wants to be a musician, but he's also talked about learning the producing side of music as well. Again, wanting to know why. The why music sounds like it does, why it's presented in a particular way. We cannot wait to hear how you're doing in the years to come. Hopefully, we'll hear you on the radio, and as I say that, that sounds extremely dated, doesn't it? There's many other apps that you use other than that, but congratulations, Jacob, and we will see you soon, I hope. Come on up, Kenzie. Okay, Mackenzie started with us at the Learning Center in 2021. I must admit, it took a little while to get to know her. We had a few attendance problems at the beginning. When Mackenzie was here, though, she did great work and could do it in bunches, which is really feeds into the program that we have. Students are able to work at their own pace and independently. Another facet that of the Learning Center program that Mackenzie saw that was our work experience program. Mike talked about this a little bit. We're allowed to award elective credits for every 90 hours a student turns in with their pay stubs. When Mackenzie got here, she only needed 4 elective classes. You know, the rest were the required classes. However, she turned in her pay stubs pretty regularly. And some people talk about what it's like to be a full-time student working a part-time job, and that's difficult, and it is. Mackenzie found a way to be a full-time student while working a full-time job. And even though she only needed the 4 elective classes, the amount of hours she worked completed 22 classes. And while at school, she worked over 2,000 hours. All this while, while going to school. This, with the combination of finishing your fun English class and your last personal finance class this year, you earned your diploma. Mackenzie being able to balance all of this is truly inspirational. In fact, I think you've actually earned some rest. That brings us to what you talked about wanting to do in your future plan after graduating. Getting an RV and traveling around the country. Now, if anyone has earned a little vacation and a chance to see the sights and breathe some fresh air, it is definitely you, Kenzie. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 grad, Kenzie Johnson. Come on up, Jasmine. I thought Jasmine was a sophomore. She started with us in 2021. She stated in her autobiography that prior to coming to the Learning Center, she was having trouble going to school and trouble staying in school, and that was having an adverse effect on her grades. Jasmine came to the Learning Center and she had a pretty smooth transition while she was here. She said she was ready to come to school every day and get things done. There were a couple hiccups. I may have had to walk someone to the bus once or twice that first year to make sure she went to the high school for those dual enrolling classes. But that was fun and got me ready for my kids doing that for them too. So, in all seriousness, though, Jasmine really did do a great job when she was here. She maintained a nice balance of her classroom work and having a job. She completed 20 academic classes while she was with us and 15 work experience classes. All of this culminated on April 18th when she finished American Lit B. Now, I know you've mentioned wanting to be a cosmetologist or perhaps owning your own boutique one day. The important thing to do is follow what you're interested in. So I hope you pursue these goals, okay? Do what you love every day, right? Okay. Jasmine, I'm very proud of you and what you've accomplished. I'm excited to see what you do next. Hope to hear from you soon. 2023 grad, Jasmine Gall. Branson, unless he walks in late, I do not believe is here today, but he will get his diploma when I see him again next time. That being said, Hayden Douglas, can you please come up here? Hayden started with us this year in late August. He had 14 classes left to complete for graduation. When he and I set goals for the first time, we talked about what he thought it would take to be successful here. The goal we talked about most was attendance, actually, making it to school. He said that was an issue in the past. So that's what we focused on in the beginning. And sure enough, quarter 1, quarter 2, we saw improvements in attendance. Once again, meeting students where they are is such a huge part of this program. Getting through the door, getting that ball rolling. After that, we focus more on his academic goals. And once you know it, his last quarter and a half, he finished 9 classes, including his final class with me, economics. Hayden has been an honor to watch you grow as a student this past year and earn your diploma. Hayden said he has plans of going to trade school to be a plumber or an electrician. Whichever path you choose, I hope you attack his goals the same way you did the goals that you set this past school year. Please stay in touch and let us know how everything's progressing. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 grad, Hayden Douglas.
Miss Allie De Lima, please come forward. Allie enrolled at Learning Center in the fall of 2021. She had about 150 credits, but a few specific gaps in her course background. We began working through her remaining classes, and I began to discover that Allie has a lot of strong vocational skills, which kept her very busy with multiple jobs over the past couple of years. When I first got to know Allie, she was working at Starbucks, and then she helped manage to open the newest Scooters location. However, now she is currently working as a CNA she's been in senior living facilities, but now home health care within the community. She has wonderful skills in caring for others professionally as well as with her family, her younger siblings, who she values passionately. She has a course in progress through Metro and will likely continue her education there. Throughout her senior year, Allie completed 97.5 credits of work experience, and she had 250 credits earned toward her graduation. However, we did have a couple of snags, namely English and science. At one point, I remember Allie telling me there was no way she would ever be able to complete her English classes, and there were also 4 science classes left. It was just too much. One of the pieces I love about working at Learning Center as a team leader are the conversations we have with the students about their goals, helping them realign actions to get to their outcomes. Allie knew she needed to get these classes done to move forward and create pathways for future success. Little by little, Allie did get those English assignments completed, and she completed her 4 science classes this year to fulfill her graduation requirements on Wednesday, May 10th. In total, Allie completed 27.5 classes of work experience, which is the same as 137.5 credits of work experience while at Learning Center. And to be honest, that's only what we have documented. There were pay stubs we didn't get during that time. So as we know, extremely hard work, as Mike has also verified. Allie's planning to continue her work as a CNA and medication aide following her graduation, but she's also interested in fully completing her healthcare certifications. We are so proud of you for all the hard work that you have accomplished so far, both in school and outside of school. Please remember, we love updates, and we are very proud of you. Congratulations, Allie. Miss Sarah Wigfall. Sarah began attending Learning Center in November 2021 during her junior year. When Sarah first applied to come to Learning Center, she wrote that anxiety had gotten in the way of her learning, and she said working at her own pace for classes would be beneficial for her. She was absolutely right. The individualized classes allowed her the opportunity to take her time in her classes and ask questions for clarification when needed. Sarah's work is organized, well thought through, and accurate, but she was also pretty quiet. As Sarah progressed in classes, we slowly began to hear more of her journey and her experiences with relationships. During this school year, students began discussions in small groups to talk about social issues that teens face under the guidance and expertise of some local therapists through Capstone. I appreciated Sarah's voice during those discussions. She shared some of the ways she has grown more intentional in her relationships. Past peer interactions in her middle grades, as well as some online bullies, and that's a bit oversimplified, were extremely challenging for her in the past. But the maturity she gained from the experiences not only prepared her better for her next transitions, but left a positive impact with our school community as well. Sarah herself said the following in her autobiography: "I believe that the bad situations have taught me something. I am thankful to be living and breathing, even though every day is not the greatest. We have the ability to improve it and maneuver through the day without allowing it to bother us. I will continue to thrive and become the greatest version of myself because I know if I won't do it for myself, who will?" Sarah is planning to continue her education in the area of cybersecurity or coding, although we did recently hear some interest in real estate and flipping houses. Sarah, the sky is the limit. We appreciate being part of your journey, and we look forward to updates on your future endeavors. Congratulations.
We did it, Mama. It's the last minute, but we did it.
All right, folks. We really, really appreciate your time and attention this evening. We do want everyone to stick around. We are going to have cake that we will be serving for everybody, so please sit, enjoy the moment. We also are going to request one last favor from all of our graduates, and that is a picture. So we will gather in the back corner, kind of by those cabinets, and get a quick photo, and parents, you're welcome to gather there as well so that we can get everybody's smiling faces one last time. I would encourage the graduates to say thank you. All of the people here sitting with you, I'm sure you have, but again, as opportunity allows, obviously these are huge pieces of your support group, teachers, staff, and families. So we really appreciate everything you've done for our grads. Have a great night. Congratulations.
You may take a smile, but please don't make a waste. Take a smile.